Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. And today we're going to be checking out a band called Hawxx. And the song is Death Makes Sisters of Us All. I know nothing about this band. Kirk, you do. Do you want to give us a bit of a background?
Yep, international all-female quartet based in London. One from England, one from Wales, one from Greece, and I think the other one's from Italy.
And they all walked into a pub. What's the rest of the punchline?
There's the joke. Feminist band. And I reviewed their album last week, The Scream Blast Repeat. Sorry, this week. You're going to give your thoughts on it. I would call this alternative metal, Dave. Your least favourite description of any.
Oh, so Faith No More, they sound like, yeah?
No.
Well, it's not alternative metal. You told me Faith No More was alternative metal.
There's the kind of words.
Oh, it's a big old mess of stuff. Anything that doesn't fit, put it in alternative then. We've got a whole video on that. You should watch that at some point. Okay. Okay, well, we'll check it all out and we'll share our thoughts and feelings at the end. Let's do it. Well, good time to stop right at the beginning there because I want to talk about that guitar tone. That's a cool guitar tone. It's got a kind of a real kind of. It's almost like they've got a severe detuning with a bit of a bend in that sort of tone. What do you guys reckon, Andy?
Yeah, that's what I noted. Yeah, very filthy guitar tone, I'd say. But, know nothing about this band. Wasn't sure what we was going to expect. As you say, alternative metal could be absolutely anything. But yeah, great intro.
Kirk, you've obviously reviewed this band, haven't you? So,
to me, that's like a basic version of Tesseract. You're right, good guitar tone. But one thing I will say, and I'm not going to say it now, one of my criticisms, I'll leave it to the end.
Okay.
Yeah, good guitar tone. I don't think there's much shape to that riff.
Okay, we can debate that at the end. Was Jasmine writing one of the first scenes behind the lead on the left?
She was, yep. So we're talking about Jasmine, who's the who works for the Noise Cartel PR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
in like a reddish pink red.
That's the one, Jasmine Lamy.
Yeah, I remember her.
We like Jasmine.
I guess it was her as well. I know nothing about the woman, but I thought I wonder if that's her. I reckon it is.
Big name in the industry, but certainly an upcoming name.
Right, let's keep going.
She's my 14 eyes, bound by crimson lines. I'll fight for her when I'm cold. We know death makes sisters of us all. I wanna burn this city to the ground for what he did to her. Make him hear our spiraling sound. Tap tap, knock knock, bang bang.
I wanted to talk about vocals then.
The warning.
Huh?
I was going to say it. The warning.
Not even, no. Why would it be the warning?
It just reminds me of the warning. This song.
Really?
I'm not doing this anymore.
Okay, I would definitely not say the warning. It's a very unique vocal delivery.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. I can't think I've heard anybody sound like her, but
No.
It took a few seconds, but I certainly warmed to it. I think it's good. So it suits the feel of the guitar tone. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
For me, there's an interesting. I liked how when she went really high, and she just let her voice go just for a second. She goes really high on a note and then comes back down again. Really nice control. I'm not a big fan of the vocal tone of her voice. It's not sitting right with me. It's not that it's bad or anything like that. It's just we've talked about this sometimes with vocalists. Sometimes you really love someone's vocal. Sometimes you're a bit indifferent. Sometimes you're like, yeah. I'm in kind of that stage at the moment. I'm not warming to it. Whereas obviously, Andy, you said it's kind of warming on you, but I don't know if it's just because it's quite different that it has. I've not heard it. I need a bit more time to let it sink in. And after maybe one or two listens of this song, I'd completely lock in with this particular vocal delivery, but it hasn't instantly connected with me. But yeah, I like the fact there's a bit of storytelling in this video as well, which is good. There's something going on. It's not just a performance base, but they've kind of mixed the two together. Let's keep going.
Just to rebuild her, hand in hand, we will fall again. Death makes sisters of our soul, ancient pain in our throats, earth and spirit and blood and bones. Roots will grow under the stone when the light runs cold. I wanna burn this city to the ground for what he did to her. Make him hear our spiraling sound. Tap tap, knock knock, bang bang. I wanna tear the whole world down just to rebuild her. Hand in hand, we will fall again. Death makes sisters of our soul. Tear down the skies, love and rage intertwined. Blood moons rise. I wanna burn this city to the ground for what he did to her. Make him hear our spiraling sound. Tap tap, knock knock, bang bang. I wanna tear the whole world down just to rebuild her. Hand in hand, we will fall again. Death makes sisters of our soul.
Okay, there we go. So Hawxx and Death makes sisters of us all. One thing we didn't say before we started the video was we do it quite often. We talk about band names. So Hawxx as a band name. Andy, first impressions of the band name.
It's one that gives you absolutely no idea of the lyrical themes or even the style of music. And this band, from just that one song, have obviously got an ideology and a clear message behind their songs. But the name, I'm kind of just indifferent about it. It's certainly one that's will help them be found if anybody's searching for them, because it's not even a real word. But if you're looking for this band on social media or YouTube, you'll certainly find them without any problem, I'd imagine. I don't know. This wasn't expecting the question really, but it's not going to draw me to them. It's not going to repel me either. It'd be interesting to see if there is actually a meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Whether it's an acronym for something. Oh, it's not an acronym, is it? Not with two X's, but certainly different.
The name-wise.
Yeah. What did you think about the name when you came across it? Because I've got my thoughts on it.
Yeah, it doesn't normally put me off a band what the name is. It's the music. I always said to you, you've got that prog metal band from the 2000s, the Tony Danza tap dance extravaganza. Clearly, that would put Andy off.
Yeah,
Doesn't put me off. That's really like an interesting mix of mathcore and metalcore. Quite an underrated band. So Hawxx, I agree with the two X's on the end. Really annoying when people take an English word, a plural, and then change it like that. But at the same time, it works. It'll help them. It'll help you find them, won't it? And social media, in all the platforms, and that's where they want the name to be for people to recognize them. What about you, Dave?
So I saw the name come up in a couple of emails in our obviously contact us at adkmusic.co.uk from the press people, and I'd skipped over it because I saw the name and it meant because it meant nothing to me. There was no reason for me to click on it. So I my initial thought when I saw it was I was like, oh, it's going to be some industrial band of some sort, Hawxx or something. It's going to be some post new wave industrial band that's blending synth pop with industrial beats, and it's going to be something like that. Then I sort of, when I read the word Hawxx, I was like, oh, maybe it's like. Then I started thinking Tony Hawk's, like, oh, so maybe it's not Hawk, but Hawk. So I just didn't get what this band's about based on the name. Although the name isn't the most important thing about a band, because once you've listened to that band, then the name means a lot less. That first time to make you decide whether or not you're going to click on something, the name is so important. And there was nothing clickable about the name for me to make me go to it, because it doesn't mean, as you say, it doesn't really mean anything as far as a word. So there's no context with it. But I'm glad we did check them out. So I think we should talk about the song and the video. I'm going to throw to Andy first.
Song-wise, you probably won't be surprised here. It's not my usual style, but I did quite enjoy it. As I said a moment ago, there's a clear message from the band and the lyrics. The guitar tone at the beginning, I did really enjoy that. But it was a simple riff. I can't remember how you phrased it, Kirk, but you sort of implied much the same as well. But it might have just been how it's coming through on my computer. But once the vocals sort of really started, everything else was almost undetectable. The vocals were very high in the mix and kind of drowned everything to a certain degree. There's a section, Kirk, do you call it the middle eight, where the guitar, the vocals stopped and the guitar went a bit chaotic, and there was that sort of solo. And then the second half of vocals to me sounded as if they had some sort of distortion effect on it for the rest of the song. But I really did like the sort of the low frequency sort of single note riff that sort of was the outro to the song. Overall, I don't think I'd go back to it. The video was sort of you could tell the sort of amount of money that's spent on it. It's obviously a university lecture room. They've got all their mates in, a couple of cameras, done in a day, but it's a good mix of performance and a story of sorts. I'm not quite sure what the message was on the the pinned together sheets. I didn't pick up on that. I don't know if it was apparent, if it was obvious, or if it's sort of sort of subtle. But interesting song. The vocals are the sort of thing you take away from it.
Okay, I'm going to go next and let Kirk, because obviously you've had a bit more of a background with this band. So I mentioned at the beginning that the vocals weren't really working for me. They did grow on me by the end of the song, and it really felt that they kind of found it. And once I got that balance, it seemed to work. Really reminds me of A Perfect Circle. I mean, this literally could be if you just took, I can't remember the singer from the band, but it's a singer from...
Maynard James Keenan.
Yeah, so if you took him and put that on, it would just sound like Perfect Circle, this song. I don't know what the rest of the album's like, but this could easily be a Perfect Circle track. I mean, the reason, yes, you were talking about that when she's singing over those verses and choruses that you can't really hear it is because the guitars are just strumming. It's all just open. There's no muting, there's no riffage, it's just open chords. So it's just a chord progression. You're never going to hear any clarity on it. It's all about holding that background chord progression. So it did a great job. It felt like there was a big amount of emotion. I really like the video because it shows what you can do on a budget. They got the message across. And that's the important part of the video. Yeah, they could have had some interesting angles and stuff like that. They could have done something a bit more arty with it, but what they showed was togetherness. They showed standing solidarity, and they did a great job of putting over on a budget type video. And I think they did a great job on that. Definitely something for me to check out again. Just to see what other sort of things they can do, because I do like A Perfect Circle. As a band, I think they're a great band, so I quite like this sort of style. Depends on where they go. If they go more extreme or heavy, or if it's still more around this sort of style, then I'll definitely be into it. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Kirk?
I'd be surprised if Anna, the vocalist, is not classically trained. She's a superb singer.
Yeah.
I know we were talking about tone, and there is a uniqueness there, isn't there? Very important to acknowledge straight away. This is identity politics as a heavy metal ideology, which we're not really used to in heavy music. Yes, you do have politics buried in amongst that. This is militant. They're very clear that they're feminists, and they're talking about women and the queer community. This song, I think I've misinterpreted it. When I reviewed the album, I thought this song was about Sarah Everard, that woman who was tragically murdered by that London Met police officer, Wayne Couzens, who was given a whole life order for this atrocity. It is actually, at the end, it did clarify, I think it's about simply gender-based violence, isn't it? And with feminism, you do divide the world into women and everybody else. Doesn't matter what the culture is, where the country is, what the civilization values are. It is true that women are more likely to face discrimination, even in advanced first world countries like Great Britain. So we know that, the gender pay gap, for example, we know that this still exists. Musically, it's all about the lyrics, isn't it? And that's where the vocals dominate. And it's such a catchy song in a good way. To me, it's like a female Manic Street Preachers armed with Tesseract riffs, and it's got the dynamism of that band Oceans of Slumber. But now you've said A Perfect Circle, I'm going to change my description and agree with you. For this song, you're right. If you take out the vocals and put Maynard in there, that is that 2000 album, isn't it? A Perfect Circle. The guitars are just not doing enough for me. The musicianship doesn't match the passion of the lyrics on this album. I want people to go and listen to this album, by the way. But as men, we don't want to be seen as being flippant and trivializing something that is close to their heart. And at the same time, it's very hard for us to pass judgment, because we could probably walk the streets at night. The main threat is we might get mugged if we're in the wrong area. If you're a woman, no matter where you are, which country, you walk around in the early hours of the morning, you're putting yourself in danger at the hands of what's likely, that's where people are going to commit crimes, aren't they? In the early hours of the morning. You are definitely more of a danger if you're a woman. So I understand this. What can they do about it? When you've got people marching on Parliament and being dragged away by the Met Police because they're protesting about an officer that's killed a woman, what's that going to achieve? It's not necessarily about that. It's like with the Yorkshire Ripper in the 70s. Women went on marches. We need to reclaim the streets. But at the same time, we've got to recognize that evil exists in this world. You're never going to eradicate it. So I understand the frustration behind that as well. It's such an important song. And the video, my last part of the video, at the end, and they stitch it and they're saying, death makes sisters of us all. These people will not be forgotten, because the statistics are so high. They are just numbers. And they're saying, no, we want to actually recognize this is a danger. And to you men, us three, this could be your sister or your niece or your daughter or your mother. So it's a very powerful song. And for that alone, I welcome it. At the same time, could I listen to identity politics and dogmatic politics in music, especially in metal? The answer is no, because there's no fun in it.
Interesting point. Okay. Well, let us know what you think in the comments down below. If you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.